Hey, everybody. Killing commercials not just about pumping people up and getting them to go out and hitting their prospects over the head like a whack-a-mole to get them to buy from them. Sometimes it's about having real conversations with producers to get their head back in the game, simply because I've been there and done that before. I want you to take a second and check out this conversation that I had with Aaron Ramsey from Colorado, who is an awesome agent, Killing Commercial member. But the reason why this clip of this call is so important and I'm willing to share it is because not even 30 minutes after I got off the call with Aaron, I had a follow-up video message from him telling me he took the exact advice I gave him in the call and exactly how it worked out. I normally don't share these calls at this level, but I'm sharing it with you today because I know that it'll benefit you. If you don't have somebody that's given you this kind of advice, go to killingcommercial.com. Whether you join Killing Commercial or the Power Producers Mastermind, honestly, that's a decision that's up to you. But if you go to killingcommercial.com or the Killing Commercial YouTube channel, good grief, is there a lot of free information that'll make you better there. What's going on? What's new?
Got your book.
Yeah, did you read it yet?
I'm like a couple chapters in. No, it's good. I like it. It's firing me up a little bit. I mean, I feel like I'm at a different level than, it's not, I can't make 100 calls or whatever in a week.
Well, you can, you just don't need to.
Yeah. Well, also just with my time. I mean, it's just like, I'm like running thin, it seems like anyways. So,
absolutely.
But it's good. No, I like it. I haven't got into the workbook yet, but.
Well, the workbook's worthless without the book. It's basically the accountability to make sure you do what the book says.
Right.
The daily behaviors and stuff. So you can do the content stuff. You need to be doing that.
Yeah.
You won't win that argument with me. Nobody's too successful to do that. My book's 1.7 million and I do it every day.
Yeah, no, actually I was reading all the forward and stuff. And now I'm into the content creation. I think it's chapter 1 or whatever.
Yep. That basically is what I do. It's like 100% my blueprint.
Yeah. Where do you post that content? Facebook, LinkedIn? Where do you?
You see it all over the place, man. I don't do anything for Florida Risk.
No, I know, but I'm saying like if I were to post content, I don't know.
I shouldn't say I don't do anything for Florida Risk. I'm saying I personally, my team does, but I don't. Everything I post is Killing Commercial or Power Producers related.
Gotcha.
So no, I mean it's called foreshadowing, man. There's a whole chapter in the book in content distribution. How I do it, what I do, the cadence, where it goes, all of that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, I talk about the social strategy, email strategy, all of that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, well, don't give it away then.
I'm not.
No, so the last time we met, I had mentioned to you I lost a pretty big account due to private equity, and I was actually fine with it. The merger and acquisition team, and they weren't. This was the account that I talked about.
Yeah, I remember, man. It's the one that you feed them, and you feed them up front, and you got to keep the fee, and then they left anyhow. Yeah.
So that it fired me up, and I just basically increased my activity, and I've been getting results based on that. I've been getting some good opportunities to look at stuff, but I'm just struggling with getting them to the finish line, and part of it maybe is I'm not qualifying them enough up front, or maybe I am.
You're operating off of emotion.
That and
so you're going out prospecting and you're going to talk to whoever you could talk to because you need to fill a mental void that you just lost an account. So it's the same thing that happens when a new producer goes out and is under pressure to validate, right? They start out really strong. Oh yeah, I got my ideal prospect dialed in, and they'll call on them for a week or two. And then the next thing you know, something else puts themselves in front of them and somebody else. And now they're writing like a 3-man candle shop in a strip mall 40 miles from their office. Why? Because they got a little bit of success and it made them feel better about themselves. So, I'm not saying that that's 100% what you're doing, but I mean, you told me it fired you up, you're out, you're getting results. And if you're not seeing things through to the finish line, that's the one thing I would say is go back and look and see what's in common with all of them. It's something that you probably, if you were in a situation where you could pick anything that you could write, knowing you were going to write it, would it be that account?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think part of the problem is the ones that I'm looking at are a little bit of a rush. They're quick turnaround, and they gave me all the information. They're not happy. There's huge opportunity. It's just like they're 10 ones.
Right.
It's like, so just trying to get them like.
So how do you set it up? How do you set it up with them? What are the expectations that you give them on the front end?
Well, that's a good point too.
Well, and let me finish my thought pattern quick. The reason why I say that is, everybody's pissed off till they have to make a decision to fire somebody, right? So if you're not getting to the finish line, maybe that's the other thing you need to be saying when you're engaging with them initially is, look, I'm 100% confident that my firm has the ability to place your insurance coverage and provide value beyond what you're getting right now. However, I want to be clear that I understand exactly what my opportunity is with your firm. Do you have the ability that if I'm able to come in and make a compelling business case after presenting some work product to you, if I make a compelling business case that you should hire my firm, do you have the ability to fire your current representation? And if your answer is yes, I'm happy to proceed. But if your answer is no, I'm not in a position to where I can do a bunch of work in an effort to try and earn your account only to find out you don't have the ability to fire that person.
You recorded this. I just want to go back and listen to that again. But that's good.
I am recording it. And you know what? I might even take that snippet right there and make a social media post out of it. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, that's just, I'm going to use that term because like I have, like you just said in your book, I don't know if it was chapter 1 or whatever, but it's like, give everything away and like basically don't hide anything. Right. So that's basically what I'm saying is like, hey, I'm not going to do all this up front if you're not even going to, you have no chance of firing your agent, or you're just using it to lower my price or whatever it is.
Right.
Correct. I agree. And I'm especially, that's good for me because I'm at a point in my career, I don't need to go write this account, but I want to write the account only if they want to let me.
And only if it's, the other thing is, and only if it's not going to diminish the value proposition that you have for every other account in your book of business. Because you go out just to write it, I want to write it, but should you write it? And I'm not, obviously I don't even know what the account is. So I'm not saying this from this specific standpoint, but that's another trap that you see people falling into is, they go out, they decide, oh yeah, I do want to write this. And then they go out and write something that it might even fit the revenue threshold. Then you find out that it's taking like twice as much to 3 times as much as your time to handle as what all of your other stuff does. So what you end up doing is you get short-term gain of adding one more account, but you put the rest of your book at risk because you're not able to give them the amount of attention they need and deserve because you brought something that didn't fit into the mix.
It's the truth, man. I've been out trying to fill this mental void and like my emails are just piling up.
Yeah.
The
fact of the matter is, if you go back and listen to our last call, you said, I'm glad it's gone. I got paid for it, but that's how we're all wired, man. I'm not telling you I would do anything different. When I lose an account, I've lost, I'm very vocal about it. $250,000 due to private equity coming in and buying service contractors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get irritated. Yeah, I want to go out and write whatever I can. But you know what? The fact I've been doing it as long as I have, I'm fired up for like the first 24 hours. And then I bring myself right back down and say, you know what? Slow and steady wins the race. I didn't get my book to where it is by just having a knee-jerk emotional reaction. My natural tendency in my DNA is to go from 0 to 1,000 and fly off the handle immediately. did it to my son on the way to work this morning, right? He and his buddies are, they're entrepreneurial. They want to do some things, and he hadn't seen me all week, right? And so now we're in the car on the way to work for the first time pretty much this week. And he was excited to tell me about this. And what did I do? I didn't agree with what he was saying. And rather than let him get his thought pattern out, I just ran all over him. I'm like, that's a stupid idea. You don't need to be doing this. I can do this, this, and this to set you up. When really all he wanted to do was tell me what it was that they were thinking and get my feedback on it. So we get to the office. I come in, I set my stuff down, and we had gone through and gotten breakfast this morning. So I went in. When we do that, we sit in the conference room and eat it together. And we went in, and I looked at him. I'm like, all right, man. Go ahead and tell me your ideas. I know I came out of the box hot this morning. I'm willing to listen to what you have to say, because I'm not going to do you any good, by just running all over you. And in fact, it damages our relationship too. I don't want to push him further away because he doesn't think he can share that stuff with me. I told him, I said, you just have to understand something, man. As passionately as I was coming at you with that, it was because I was trying to protect you. That's it. I said, it had nothing to do with me thinking you're stupid or anything else. It's a father who wants to make sure that his son doesn't make any bad decisions, and that if I can do anything at all to protect you, I'm going to do it. And I said, so I will always be passionate about that. You're just going to have to realize that your old man will come, I will come back down. I will make it right. But, something that's a constant work in progress for me, man, because I have, when I get going, just stay out of my way. Just let me work it out. But the same thing would happen, when I lose accounts. I mean, and the issue that I have is I'm really good friends with my clients. Like most of my clients, I can't say all of them, but most of my clients are very good personal friends at this point. And so the private equity thing was a learning process for me too, because I got pissed. I was mad at my friend. And I'm like, what am I doing? I should be celebrating my friend's success. What a selfish point of view for me to take it out on my friend who just had an ability to create multi-generational wealth for their family. And I'm mad because I lost revenue in my insurance agency. That's not how friends act.
Sure. Yeah, I have another. I'm dealing with another contractor, not as big. I mean, this one's only premium $75,000, but they're getting bought up by another private equity firm out of California, something home services. But yeah, I don't know. All right, that's all I needed, dude. I feel like I understand what I'm doing. I need to get back to like my ideal client. Don't just pick up anything off the street that lets me in the door.
100%. 100%. And dude, like, it's not like your book is, you have a good book.
Right.
You don't have to run. Your bills are taken care of as far as I know. It's not like you don't have to run out and be aggressively. We like to be aggressively pursuing revenue, but it's not because you're not going to eat next week. It's because, it's because of the competitive streak of how we're wired, which is good, man. If you just rolled over and didn't do that, then I would question you. The fact that you did just tells me you're a good producer, because that's how a good producer would react.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
Cool deal, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, brother. I'll holler at you next week.
Okay. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Dude, what's up? Hey, I actually just got off the phone with the prospect. I got a little bit fired up again after our call. But basically, their policy expires at the end of this month, and they're with an excess lines carrier. Concrete company, shouldn't be excess, but they've been with their agent since 2005, and we've had some conversations. Their work comp renews on April 1st, and I said, dude, everybody's pissed off until you have to fire someone. And he was like, yeah, I probably, firing him in 2 weeks, it's probably not going to happen. So I'm glad we talked this morning, and just basically, I'm not going to spend my time working on something and have that stress of trying to get something together for him that he's not even really going to want to make a switch in 2 weeks. So basically the strategy is like, let's be prepared to fire agent in April, because that's when the work comp comes up. I'm going to line everything up, kind of a midterm quote, hopefully catch the broker off guard, and then go from there. So appreciate your time today. And yeah, this is a pretty good size account. It's probably 200,000 in premium. So good size, and yeah, have a good Friday. Thanks, man.